It's that spooky time again, and you may be asking, what should you be watching this Hallows Eve? Happy Halloween, spooky season, Samhain, Devil's Night, whatever you want to call it. It's that time of year where we like to watch spooky, scary, creepy things. So I decided to make a short, unranked list of a few spooky and unnerving anime with a cadre of monster mashing and graveyard thrillers. Make your skin tingle and goose up your bumps. So, with little fanfare and no real research, here's my list. Let's start with an anime that is as infamous as it is famous for being the first anime to get an abridgment. That's right, Ghost Stories, the anime that launched probably dozens of YouTube careers and inspired countless others. It's got spooky ghosts and ghouls, and if you watch the English dub, you will get a dose of classic YouTube poop. With low-effort shock humor and mild racism, it is funny at times, kind of like that edgy kid in middle school that no one really acknowledged as a friend, but it still somehow made you laugh. Next, High School of the Dead, the anime that's almost as spooky as it is horny. Zombies take over Japan, and it's up to our protagonist crew to make it to safety and maybe get a little revenge along the way. The zombies are creepy, and the fan service is fun. Perfect for Halloween if you really think hard enough about it. Following that, the next one that comes is... the next one that comes to mind, Hellsing Ultimate. It's got so much spooky action and great lines, even if you're watching the actual anime and not the abridged, which I can't recommend enough. The abridged Hellsing is just god tier. It's got psychopathic Nazis, anti-hero vampires, ghouls, werewolves, and the Catholic Church, for a bit of holy indignation. It's just so entertaining and it has its own spooky moments. Love the series, and if you haven't watched it yet, you're missing out. 'Cause bitches love cannons. Sorry, had to. For a change of pace where people are the real monsters all along, I give you the futuristic dystopia of Psychopaths, which is more drama than horror, but if you have a brain, it will give you chills. It centers around a special police force that is tasked with controlling the population's emotions and executing those that have murderous intent. The weapons they use are insane. Honestly, it's equal parts Judge Dredd and Minority Report, and if you haven't watched either of those, then you have homework. Coming back to monsters, what are we missing from the list so far? We got vampires, zombies, we mentioned werewolves, aliens, yes, and what better to showcase some body horror freakfest aliens than this series? Parasite the Maxim. Aliens invade Earth and take over some human bodies, and also some animals. The creators must have watched John Carpenter's The Thing, because they seem heavily inspired by it, and that's not a bad thing. The human host will split apart and devour their loved ones whilst they attempt to replace humanity as the dominant species. One alien parasite forms a weird codependent bond with its host and wants to experience life as a human through him. Anime, what can I say? It's good, watch it. And what's Halloween without a group of teenagers killing each other? I give you The King's Game. A transfer student gets pulled into a supernatural King's Game. If you're unfamiliar, the King's Game involves 10 sticks with one of the sticks marked as the king. The person who receives the king sticks wields absolute power over the game and gives orders that the other players must follow. In the anime, there is already a king and his orders are absolute. And if the participants do not follow his orders, then they are maimed and often killed. It's a good slasher fun with a supernatural element. It's good shit. I don't care what anybody says. Let's throw in a more recent spooky anime, The Unwanted Undead Adventurer. This is the story of an adventurer that dies in a dungeon. He's killed by a dragon and reborn as an undead skeleton. He must now evolve from his base skeleton life to become closer to his original human body. Life ain't easy for this bag of bones, but when you've already been killed, you can't die again, so there's not much to lose. Then you can also find new and innovative ways of completing contracts, and Mr. Skeleton plans to be a top adventurer. There are spooky moments where the undead protagonist has to do some inhuman things to keep his dead body a secret. It's a good anime that has flown under the radar. I highly recommend you watch it. Before I give you the last selection, I want to give you a few more honorable mentions for thrills and chills. We got Goblin Slayer, Gantz, Dodododo, Junji Ito Collection, Death Parade, Blood Sea, Berserk, and Demon Slayer. All these have good spooks and scares, so my final selection for a fall terror anime is Monster, an anime that follows the exploits of sociopathic killer Johann Liebert as he blazes a trail of manipulation and murder after having his life saved by Dr. Tenma in his youth. Liebherr is like Hannibal to Tenma's Clarice, a genius of manipulation and intrigue that will send chills down your spine and have you checking dark corners before you lay down for bed. Thank you for joining me on this journey through some spooky delights for the season. I know it's been a while since my last upload. Life has been throwing wrenches into my creative gears, and honestly, it's hard to get back in that headspace once you're effectively out of it. I sincerely hope you enjoy this and maybe found some new anime to watch. This has been the Saucy Senpai. Remember to keep watching great anime and always stay dreaming.